Right now, lawmakers are back in Washington for what's known as a lame duck session. There are a number of agenda items that need to pass. So an organization called Community Change Action, they're pushing for change. Joining us now is Tammy Thomas Miles, who's the Economic Justice Campaign Manager with Community Change Action. Tammy, thank you so much for being here and welcome to Cap Review. So talk to us about your organization. I understand the focus has been to help struggling families deal with the costs of rising prices.
Yes, thank you for having me here. Community Change Action is a national organization that works with our partners across the country to build power in low-income communities, especially for people of color. And we've been involved in the fight for income support, including the child tax credit and earned income tax credit for a very long time. And when Biden introduced the Build Back Better agenda, this actually gave us the opportunity to pass something that was transformative. You know, this expanded version of the child tax credit and the EITC and the monthly payments that came with the CTC was just phenomenal. It's been one of the most significant things that have helped to reduce child poverty in our history.
So, Tammy, how has the child tax credit and the earned income tax credit helped families?
Yeah, so, you know, over the past 2 years, we have seen how COVID has decimated our communities. People are struggling to get by, the rates of inflation, and the monthly payments that the child tax credit gave folks was phenomenal. I mean, people used them to pay rent, they used them for food, for gas, for clothes, you know, to buy school clothes, all sorts of things to make ends meet. And then the earned income tax credit, prior to the expansion in the American Rescue Program, people over 65 didn't qualify. So if you think about when you walk into places like Walmart, Walgreens, and you see all these older employees working, they're working, but they did not qualify for the earned income tax credit. This expansion actually makes them qualify along with folks 19 to 24 who aren't dependents on their parents or whomever's tax return. We know that the child tax credit and the stimulus checks lifted over 18 million people out of poverty, making 2021 the lowest child poverty, having the lowest child poverty rates, particularly for Black and brown kids in American history. And the EITC itself supported nearly 11 million underpaid working adults without children.
So tell us what happens next. I understand you have a demonstration that you're planning for Tuesday right in front of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce headquarters.
Yeah, so, you know, the Chamber of Commerce, the reason the Chamber of Commerce, we're putting them on the naughty list because they're not supporting families and kids and low-wage workers like they should be. They're totally for big business, which is fine. We understand that's their lane. But what we're saying is, you know, the Chamber of Commerce actively push to make sure that that corporations get tax breaks, and they've looked at pay fors at the expense of programs like the CTC and the EITC. We want them to fight for America's families, our children, and our workers. That we deserve tax breaks. I said they and we because I'm a worker too, and I have grandchildren that qualify for the CTC, and I know lots of family members that benefit from the EITC. You know, we deserve to be able to make ends meet too. If you think about the runaway profits that most of the corporations made during the pandemic while families were struggling, I think about this and I think like ordinary people are showing up and speaking out about what they need, and we need to be heard. We need them. We know that if we speak up, they'll hear us, and they can't ignore us.
Tammy Thomas Miles from Community Change Action, thank you so much for being here, for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.